Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tara. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. Yes, that was some puppy dog ears that popped up in the background there. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Absolutely freezing outside today, but that's okay. Warm and snug and cozy inside. Thank you for joining me. Been a really bit of a interesting week. So yes, again, if you hear or see my boys, let me know. They don't always turn up, but they're starting to become a little bit vocal. What I'm going to have a look at today, it wasn't a huge news day overnight, so I'm going to have a look at what's going on in France in this particular reading. Won't be here for a Sunday reading, Master's Guidance reading, because I've got family here for the weekend, which is going to be absolutely fabulous. And but the idea of the Meister's Guidance channel is to scroll through the videos, and if you are intuitively drawn to an image or a title, that's the message that you need to hear at this time. So using my Gilded Tarot Royale, I'm just going to have a look at just a general energies for France at the moment. There's been a lot of tension over there. There was a youth that had been pulled up for a traffic violation, and I haven't read what actually happened in regards to that instance, but the young person was shot and killed. Now, as an Australian, it's very hard for me to understand that, because even though, yes, our police are armed with a pistol, they are also armed with a taser. I don't know if the French police are. First of all, I don't understand why a gun was pulled or a weapon was pulled, and if one was necessary, why it was a lethal weapon rather than something like a taser. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm just going to look at the tensions themselves. Have been simmering under the surface for quite a while now, very much due to immigration, because with what's going on in Syria and North Africa, they are getting a lot of immigrants into the country that is causing tensions. The government then lifted the pension age, which was upsetting to a lot as well, even though France has had one of the lowest pension ages in the Western world. There was a lot of upset in regards to that. I think what it was that the people felt that the government had bypassed them, bypassed representing them. But did read on that a while back. But I just want to have a look at the energies of France and just see what's happening and how's it going to play out. So using my Gilded Tarot Royale, which is my well, I call it my nondescript card. It's the deck I use rather than a Rider-Waite deck. Okay, let's have a look. What's going on in France? The tensions in France. How's it going to play out? What's going on in France? Right. Okay. Yeah, they were after that card. Let's have a look. Come on down. I'll just see if I can correct the light a little bit, because these cards are fairly dark. Okay. Six of Pentacles is the first card out, the giving and receiving of help. I suspect, like everywhere else, they've got horrendous inflation over there, homelessness issues. But okay, thank you. I'm getting more that it's a doling out of assistance to some and not to others. Now, I'm not asking about the policeman killing the teenager. I'm asking about the energies of France. And I'm really getting that there is, as the signifier, there are some who are feeling like they are missing out, that they're being overlooked. Okay, challenged by the Eight of Pentacles, trying to balance the books. Yeah, it is a balancing act, trying to balance the books of government. It would be lovely to fund everything, but the money for funding everything has to come from somewhere. And if it's not coming from somewhere, then you can't fund everything. It's just like balancing your checkbook. If the money's not coming in, then you don't have it for to go out, and that's the challenge, is what I'm seeing in those energies. Okay, what's going on behind the scenes? The government. The government trying to be responsible um, um, caretakers of the budget, basically. I mean, if they taxed the wealthy at a decent rate and closed all the loopholes like we desperately need to do in Australia as well, there would be more money in the coffers for those that really need it. I think in Australia something like 70 something made a multi-million income last financial year didn't pay a single cent in tax due to these loopholes. But yeah, trying to be fiscally responsible is what I'm getting there. Okay, which is the energies behind the scenes. The Knight of Swords, which is bringing about a harsh truth, a harsh reality, and is making the government I'm getting here very unpopular, wounded in retreat, sickened, forced to retreat. So this is money and truth having to retreat in regards to some some of the yeah. I'll just leave it like that. Let's go forward. Okay. The karma hanging over is the Fool card, which is about a new beginning, starting a new beginning. But I'm also drawn to the fact that in this particular deck, he's juggling. I mean, he's juggling all the signs of the zodiac. So it may be that they're just going to have to juggle for another year until things settle down in the world economy. But they are juggling back and forth on this new journey that they're on. Yeah, and here is a new start, a new plan coming forward. So I do see at the moment there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, that they are juggling what's going on. There's a harsh truth coming forward for the government, a wake-up call in regards to which they're going to find themselves, okay, I'm getting unpopular, but it's worse than unpopular, where they're juggling the economy, they're juggling the legislations, juggling immigration, you name it, they're juggling it. But yes, the government is going to come forward with a new plan, and it really does need, for so many of these Western societies, including Australia, where they need to go right back to the drawing board instead of tinkering around the edges. The outcome, King of Swords, which is the doing. Kings are externally doing, queens are internally doing. There may be some court cases that come forward against the government that forces them to bring about this new beginning, or it may just be that it is a strong masculine energy that comes forward with the sword of truth and presents it. They really, governments, for some reason, they seem to think that they have to tinker behind the scenes and keep it secret. They treat that, it's almost like they don't think people are intelligent enough to know the truth and to understand the reality. But I think this is actually bringing forward the truth and reality that is going to bring about balance back into the society. Balance and peace. A lot of financial hard work that's going to have to go on behind the scenes to rebuild a solid foundation. And it is a crossroads moment for France. This is even possibly an election where they go to, where they have to choose which path forward. This truth of this new plan, and it's going to be a very dramatic new plan, or continue down the same old, same old. The light is going to be shone on the path forward. there will be obstacles, is what I'm getting. There will be obstacles, but there will be devil energy to overcome. This energy is, if I remember rightly, the previous was Le Pen with that far right. It's very similar to the US MAGA far right, where they promise the world, but but once they get into government, they can't deliver because what they promised was not real. So I'm getting that there are going to be obstacles in the path going forward, and it is going to be this devil energy. But there is going to be an orator that comes forward and is able to explain clearly, a clear orator, and can explain clearly to the voters. It's almost, if I'm talking about an orator, springs to mind, not Joe Biden, but if you think about how Barack Obama used to be able to explain, how Pete Buttigieg can explain, it's going to be that sort of energy. Beto, I think, is right thinking of, rather than Buttigieg, to explain to the voters. Emotions are going to cloud the judgment because it is an emotional topic. But really, the country is at a stage, like all Western societies, like all societies at the moment, where they have to decide what shit to bring in that is going to be prosperous and leave a legacy for the country going forward. The government's going to have to defend itself in regards to this, but I think this is about going back to simplicity. If this orator can explain in simple terms about and at an emotional level at what is required, that they will get through, and there will be understanding. There will be understanding and a collective awakening, is what I'm getting. Okay. Yeah. Truth crossroads. The blindfold needs to come off quickly, which is going to cause heartbreak for some. But the legislators need to step up with this new plan and bring progress, and it'll be about slow and steady financial progress forward, is what I'm getting there. Is what I'm getting. So I'll just say it's complicated. But that's the energies going on at the moment, is what I'm getting from the government's point of view. Let's see how it plays out. Now, if you've got any questions that you'd like me to have a look at next week, pop them in the box below, and I shall see you shortly. Take care. Bye-bye.